Aimee Berger. I run a company called Two Generations and Alternative Venue Entertainment. Two Generations is a music management and consulting firm that represents songwriters, producers, and artists. The Alternative Venue Entertainment Company was a company that was established 4 years ago to be a marketing vehicle for up-and-coming emerging artists that were looking to perform in front of captive audiences that were outside the normal scheme of venues, hence the alternative venue name. The tour was named Camplified. Instead of it being amplified, our logo sort of helped name the tour, which was a artist stick figure with a guitar, with the wire from the guitar going into a TP rather than an amp, and hence Camplified was born. I started out in the music industry about 9 years ago, initially as an attorney. I had been a tennis player. I was playing amateur tennis in college for Penn State University, and I woke up one morning having had a family history in the music business and said, I don't think I have it here to be a tennis player, but I think that I would like to manage talent and be a part of people who are talented, who do have it here, but maybe don't necessarily have the business sensibility. I went to law school, decided to apply to law school. I was able to get in, and I moved out to Los Angeles, finished law school out in Los Angeles, and worked briefly for Warner Chappell Music Publishing, and got a little bit of a background on the legal end of the publishing business. But I spent a major amount of time walking around the Warner Chappell offices, shaking hands with the other people that worked there, and doing whatever networking I thought was appropriate, because at that point in time I didn't know what direction I would go in, even though representation seemed to be it, but not necessarily from the legal side, more the management side. So this was a step in the right direction. Once I finished law school and passed the bar, I moved to New York City. I worked for Island Records, and I worked for Arista Records after that, working on the business affairs side. And I had an opportunity while working at Arista to get involved with some songwriters who were writers that were working with the Arista roster but did not have management. And I asked them if they would take a shot with me. And when they agreed, I hung up my shingle, and I decided to take office space and leave Arista and form a company that would allow me to do music management for songwriters and producers. Having gotten into that, I felt that the artists that we were taking on or helping in some capacity, as representative of songwriters that had artists that were being signed to label deals, it became apparent to me that those artists were not necessarily getting the attention that I thought they should from marketing departments. Not because I was blaming the marketing departments. Maybe they just weren't the priority at that time, or the label wasn't 100% sure what to do with the act. They thought the act needed to develop a little bit more, but what direction would make that possible? So as a manager and just trying to be forward-thinking, I thought, getting artists in front of captive audiences, whether they were my own or somebody else's, was probably the way to go, and discovered the summer camp environment to do that type of tour in. And born from there was this tour company that I began to get involved with.